All right, fifth grade, lesson 99. We're adding and subtracting whole numbers and decimal numbers. All right, so you see I already have two examples up here for you. Here's what I would like you to do. Go ahead, pause the video. I want you to try one or both of these problems. Go ahead. All right, I'm going to start with the addition one because the addition one is a little simpler than the subtraction one. You'll notice something that's very important. Right here, you have all the decimals lined up with each other. That's very important. Anytime you're adding and subtracting whole numbers and decimal numbers, you need to make sure that all the decimals are lined up in the same column. Okay? So I see that they're already lined up for me, and you just add it like any other problem. First step, just add your decimal right at the bottom there. So same column, my decimal goes right there. All right, so I have 5 plus 5 plus 0, that gives me 10. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5. 5.0 inches. Or you can just write it like this, 5 inches, and you're done. Subtraction, same for subtraction. Make sure that these are both lined up in the same column. And then you can subtract like any other number. First step, put your decimal at the bottom here, and then do it like any other problem. So I have nothing here, but I have a 2 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change that to a 0 because it doesn't change the value of my decimal at all. 3.3 is the same as 3.30. Now I can borrow. Change that to a 2, and that becomes a 10. All right, so now I have 10 minus 2, that gives me 8. 2 minus 1 gives me 1. 3 minus 2 gives me 1. So my answer here would be 1.18, and that's how I subtract and add decimals and whole numbers. Here's a word problem example. I'll read this for you. It says, in a science experiment, the scientists placed food at the end of a short maze and placed a mouse at the beginning of the maze. The scientist timed how long it took for the mouse to reach the food. Then the scientist repeated the experiment 3 times. The mouse's times were 6.2 seconds, 4.25 seconds, and 3 seconds. What is the total elapsed time of the 3 trials? Go ahead and try this one on your own. Pause the video. All right, here we go. Now, I'm looking for total elapsed time. So I know right away I need to add things together to figure out my answer here. So automatically jumps out at me. I have 6.2 seconds, 4.25 seconds, and 3 seconds. So I'm going to add those 3 numbers. Remember to always line up your decimals. So I have 6.2, 4.25, and most important, the 3 you put right here in the same place value column. Those are the values that I'm going to add up. If you would like to make it easier, you can fill in the rest of these with zeros. Because like I said, after the decimal, it does not affect the value of the number. So now I can add them all up. So I have 5, I have 4, my decimal stays in the same spot, and then 6 plus 4 is 10, and then plus 3 is 13. And there I have it. So my total elapsed time of the 3 trials is 13.45 seconds. All right, and another example here. Let's go on to example 2. A computer that began a complex task 8 minutes ago needs 24.6 minutes altogether to complete the task. How many minutes will the task be complete? So here I'm adding 8 minutes, which is when this started, and 24.6 minutes. So I can have 8 and 24.6 all lined up. Now I just add them if you want. You can add a 0 here and a decimal there. You don't have to. You can do it without the 0. So now I'm adding them together. 6 here, 8 plus 4 gives me 12. Oh, don't forget your decimal at the bottom here. Stays in the same spot always. 2 plus 1 is 3. 32.6 minutes. Don't forget the label. All right. Last example here. Which digit in 4.65 is in the same place as the 2 in 12? Easiest way to figure this out, line them up as if you're going to add or subtract them. So 4.65 and then 12. So I'm not adding or subtracting, but if I line them up this way, it makes the answer a lot more clear. So it's asking me what digit in this number is in the same place as the 2 in 12. Well, they're both lined up right here. So it would be 4 is in the same digit spot, in the ones place. All right, here's what your lesson practice looks like. Your assignment will be the lesson practice, and then since this is lesson 99, that means you have the odd numbered problems. So lesson practice and the odds.